Lingers, and it is Saturday night, which means it is time for a video and another card. So let me get refreshed over here and make sure that we're actually doing something and I'm not just talking to myself because, I mean, I guess that's not a problem talking to yourself as long as nobody answers, but I just can't take the chance, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's see. Okay, it's going to skip there. All righto. We have the spinning spinner. Okay, I see myself. I see Amy. Hi, Amy. Appreciate you coming. I hope you are not inundated with snow again. We got flurries all morning. It looked very pretty, but nothing stuck. I mean, like nothing, not even on the top of fences stuck. Hey, everybody. I appreciate you guys coming. Rosie and Marva and Becky and Judy and Ginger. Oh my goodness, everybody's getting on. Okay, good. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. So this card, I saw one of these come through. You know how the reels pop up on Facebook when you've been looking at cards. And this one was made by Sue Phillip. And I really thought this was a fun little background to do. So we're going to do that with some new Homemade Sweetness DSP. It's a very pretty DSP paper in the online exclusives coming on March 3rd. And I have made my sentiment and then my little flowers with Framed All Around, which is another new stamp set. And I love it because it has beautiful sentiments. I love, may all the love and support that surrounds you help heal your heart. So you've got sympathy, you've got birthday, which is what we're using today. Our friendship is one of the happiest things I can think of, and thinking of you. So a lot of sentiments that work together, and then also some pretty images. And since I like to decorate my envelope and the inside of cards, I really like when there's a mix of sentiments and images. So this works out perfectly. You'll be able to get this and the DSP on the 3rd of March, which is just around the corner practically. Or you can take advantage of the new joining special starting next week and pre-order it along with me. So let's go ahead and get started. It's all on my blog, I know, because I have already written it. So you should be able to just watch and take notes or do whatever. So now, one little thing different. There's another side. The DSP has a second side. So this is the side I used on my sample, but I thought it would be kind of fun to make it in the blues. Okay, so we're gonna do some cloud cover and some secret sea, and I'm still gonna stick with the pecan pie for the matting, but we're gonna use cloud cover for the secondary mat. So there you go. We're gonna try that and see how we like it. So let me show you how to do this. You're gonna need about 16 triangles, and the way you make them is to take a 1" by 5" strip of DSP, and using your trimmer, you're just going to put a corner and then the diagonal corner right in the cutting groove and slice it into a triangle. Okay, so we'll do one of each of these. Now, I don't think, I mean, you could use fewer than 3 designs, but I think it's just going to kind of change the feel of the card front. So I used 3 different designs, obviously in kind of coordinating colors, but I think you could probably use 4 or 5 designs and just alternate them as you lay your triangles down. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. So that's just basic. I was just really basically showing you how to do that because I've already done a bunch of them. So to make your card front, now, hopefully I cut 2 of these. Possibly I didn't. No, I did not. Let me see how big this one is. This is 4 by 5¼ Okay, well, I have another piece of white here, and we can make our inner liner later. So I started with a larger than I needed piece of white cardstock. So this card front here is 3¾ by 5, and I've started with 4 by 5¼ And I did that so that I could get all of my DSP cut off at the end and then straighten up my edges with my paper trimmer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure roughly halfway down, roughly. I mean, you can use your ruler if you want, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it and putting a little pencil mark right there. Okay. Then take your liquid glue. Now I was gonna get let me get my triangles ready so that I'm gonna go just like this. So you're gonna do all points going the same direction. Okay, and then I'll just start over with my gingham. Okay, hopefully I can do that right. So we're going to just put a very thin layer of liquid glue all over this card front. Now, you could probably use adhesive sheet, but your liquid glue does give you a little extra time to move stuff around. So you really don't need a lot. You can see I do not have a lot of glue on there. Okay, and that's going to be more than fine. May even have to add a little bit when we get ready to get to the bottom. So I started with my centerpiece, and you're just going to put that tip right on your dot and kind of get it going across kind of straight on the card front. Okay. Does it have to be? No, but it'll give you kind of a nice starting point if it is. Okay. And then you're just going to take your second piece, put that point down there on that dot, and butt the edge up against the first piece. And then just keep doing it. Over and over. Over and... Okay, now let's see. I need this one. Probably the hardest piece of all is just keeping your your doohickey, your pattern. That was the word I was looking for, is pattern. So like I said, you need about 16 of these triangles to make it all the way around, and it's going to look like a hot mess until you get it tightened up here. Okay, so just take the time it takes to kind of get those edges butted up against each other. Okay. Let's see, so now we need spoons. Let's push that down a little bit. And the points won't always be right at the pencil, because as you get more cardstock or more DSP added, you'll get kind of further and further away from it. All right, so now our gingham, like this. So Miss Addie has now graduated to having the cone on during the day if nobody's holding her, because yes, she has decided to worry that wound on her leg. Of course she is, because it's itching. I'm certain that's the problem, but she really can't. So today we realized she was doing it, and we put the cone on, and she gave me that look. If you've ever put a cone on a dog, you have seen the look. She tolerates it pretty well when we go to bed, but in the evening or in the daytime, she's like, really? Even in the day I have to wear this? I don't like it. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little more liquid glue. Oh, thanks, Sue. I confess I have I'm a little bit addicted to them. A little bit addicted. I like them. It's fun. I've even got one that I'll put on in March. Okay, so let's see. Now we're going to go spoon, because this is, yeah, so plaid, spoon, flowers, plaid, spoon, spoons, flowers. So anyway, we put the cone on her, and then we decided that we could safely use that silver spray that we used on the pony. So let's see, plaid, okay, plaid now. And we sprayed that wound with that today. So I think that'll help it heal. And it doesn't say it has any analgesic effect, but it helps Katie not itch so bad on her belly. We spray it on her belly in the summer when she rubs it and kind of makes it raw. And the vet swears it has no analgesic to it, but I do think it makes it feel better. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and I'm going to use it. Ooh, I'm liking this in blue. Okay, spoon, flowers, flowers, flowers. Oh, I may need to do another flowers. Maybe that's a flowers. No, I might have to do another flowers. Okay, so we'll put that on like so. Okay, flowers. Flowers. Gingham. Okay. And then get that butted right up against there. You can't really see if the white shows through. You can't really see it, but it's okay. Where do you get your Apple Watch bands? Oh, I get them. I get them online, and it's a place called Fancy Bands, and they're usually like $25 a piece, but I wait until they go on sale, and then I buy them when I need them on sale. Okay, so looks like this last one will be a spoon. Not quite the end, but that's going to trim off, so that should be fine. Okay, so there we go. Ah, it looks like a fan. Okay, and you can see how it looks on the back. So I'm going to take my scissors and trim the excess, and then I will trim it down with the paper trimmer to the size that I want. Okay. And then all we got to do is our sentiment circle, which is pretty easy. And we'll be pretty much done. That's how easy this is. So you know what? You could use any of our DSP packs. I really think this would be fun and beautiful with the Nature's Walk. Don't you think that would be beautiful? I think that would be a really pretty card front. Just trimming that off on this edge. Okay, oop, get down there now. Okay, and get rid of these little guys. Yeah, I probably could have, but I don't know if it would go down far enough on her leg. It would have to have full legs because it's down below her hock on the back leg. So there you go. Okay. Now let's go ahead, and I am actually going to trim. So this is, like I said, this is 4, and I want it down to 3 3/4. So I'm going to take an 1/8 inch off of both long sides, down to 3 3/4. And then it is 5 1/4, and I want it down to 5, so I'll take an 1/8 of an inch top and bottom. Oop, let's get that gone. Okay, and then turn around like so, and we'll be at 5 inches. Yes, I think it would be a great masculine card to use the Nature's Walk. But I'm loving this. Isn't that pretty, that fun paper? Let me tell you why I used the pink on the first one is because I was using a color challenge and I wanted to do it right. So there we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to, before we mat, we're going to make our sentiment. And first I'm going to cut myself an inner liner because I did not make one of those. So we'll get a 4 by 5 1/4 before I mess up and don't have enough and I have to go find some. Someone asked me on a comment today what I use the big toolboxes in my craft room for, since I have so much Stampin' storage for all my paper. Well, as I'm sure most of you know, there's much that goes into making cards and running a business besides cardstock and inks and papers. So I have all the things. I've got my labels, I've got my embossing powders, I've got my many extra liquid glues and dimensionals that I tend to buy 1 or 2 of every time I place an order. I've got all my extra white, vanilla, and basic black cardstock, and when there's a sale on cardstock, I get some extras of the other colors, and I keep those in drawers too. So I am of the school where you really cannot have too many drawers. That's what I think. You can't have too many drawers. All right, so we're going to stamp our framed all around sentiment. And it says, sending wishes for the happiest birthday. And I'm going to kind of put it in the center here so I have a lot of leeway when I'm cutting it out with my stylish shaped circle, because you want, yes to sweaters or a new therapist, or both. Yeah, well, and that works good because the thing you're trying to keep them from getting at is on their belly, so the sweater covers that pretty good, but I don't think it would cover where it is on little Addie Loobadoo. Okay, so now I'm going to take this pretty flower image. This is the larger flower from Framed All Around, and I'm going to stamp it around like this. And I'm trying to stay away from the words. And let's see, I think I'll use the small one too. Let's see, I'm not going to put one over there. No, I think I'm going to leave that. I like it right there. I tend to get a little carried away. Perhaps you've noticed I do tend to get a little carried away. So I'm now going to take the next to largest of the stylish shaped circle dies, and I'm going to cut it out like this, okay? And the reason I'm going to cut it so skewed is because I'm going to slice an edge off so that we get this look on the card front. And I want all of my sentiment and part of my flowers, okay? So I will be right back. I'll be right back to you in just a moment. One moment, please. All right. I'll tell you what, you guys, even though it didn't snow, it is so stinking cold here. So cold. It was, our high today was 25, and the wind chill, the highest feels like temperature has been 4. It just hurts your face being out in it. So lots of wrapping up going on. Okay, so with this done, what I did is I just put this in and I made it look kind of straight to me, like that. And I'm gonna cut about, you know, that much off, like that. Straight across, just like that. Very simple, not at all difficult. I know, stylish shapes just needs to never leave. Now, I was gonna look and see. I think I'm gonna stick with my cloud cover for my flowers. I'm gonna make blue flowers, I think. Yeah, because I've put cloud cover around in the boho blue area, and then I've got strawberry slush. Nah, I think I'm gonna go with the blue. I'm gonna stick with my color theme. And I'm just gonna use the light cloud cover Stampin' blend to color my flowers. If you think it would be prettier with pink flowers, go for it. I'm just kind of keeping the same idea from one card to the next, if that makes sense. And just color that little guy right there, and then color these little guys. Okay. Now, I will use some Stampin' Dimensionales to adhere the sentiment to the card front. Oh yeah, Florida was not warm either. I mean, it wasn't 25, but it wasn't very warm either. Yeah, it's cold. I was so glad to be able to have all my doors closed in the barn, because Katie's fine. She was even fine out in it today. It really didn't bother her, I'm certain. I was looking very closely when I brought her in. I was afraid she was shivering, but in fact, it was the wind rippling her fur. So I had to double check when I got her in the barn with the doors closed so there was no wind. And then I had my hands on her. I'm like, are you shivering? I'm not sure what I would have done if she had been, because she was not going to be at all interested in having a blanket on. No, Mom, I do not need a blanket. So I'm just putting this right here in the middle. I'm going to go down just the tiniest bit right there, and then line that edge up with the edge of the card base. Okay, now if I have done my measuring correctly, then this will be a smaller reveal mat, and then I'll have a larger reveal mat. Comfort and not knocking everything over. Yeah, the cones are kind of, she's pretty good with it. She's gotten pretty good, and because she's little, the cone is little. If Finn was wearing a cone, it would be a wrecking cone, as it were. But oh wait, what did I do here? Oh yes, liquid glue. I'm adhering this with liquid glue. So yeah, you could use Stampin' Seal. You just want, what I did is I made a non-dimensional mat first, like so. And then I am going to adhere a cloud cover mat to my card front with liquid glue. And then I will put the card front on with dimensional. So it'll be a little bit of a different kind of matting. Okay. Okay, so there's that. And then we'll put dimensionals on here. Yes, Rosie is a very good helper, and I appreciate her very much. I don't need new ones. I have these right here. All right, so we'll dimensionalize this. And then we'll have to kind of see what we want for a for my embellishments. On my pink one, I used the strawberry slush dots in the new Strawberries and Dots pack, part of the online exclusives coming in March. But I don't think we want strawberry slush on this one. So I got two things out, and we'll see which one looks better. Okay, so let's be sure we're putting this one right. And so you can see I am dimensionalizing this piece. Ooh, I like it like this. What do you guys think? They're both so cute. That paper is just the cutest ever, ever. Okay, now we have two options. We actually have three, but I can't find, hang on, let me see if I can find my Hues of Blues flowers. Just a second. I know I have them here somewhere. I just can't seem to find them. And I don't know why exactly. They are just like, they have gone walkabout, and I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. So I won't keep looking. But Hues of Blues flowers, if you've got those, they might be a good embellishment here. But I pulled out the new Garden Epoxy dots, so we can see whether those might be good. Or we'll use cloud cover dots from the Moody palette. All right. So let's see what these look like. Okay, so we have two options. We can go with like that, or one like this. No, I don't like that at all. That one won't work for sure. What do you guys think? Be voting. Do you like this one? Do you like that? Or do you think it would be better with the, I think it needs to be the cloud cover. I think it does. I think that's just a little bit too far off of what it was supposed to be. Cloud covers for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, so we're gonna put one of those right there. And then I'm gonna put some up here. Like this. And then we'll put some like that down here near the bottom. Oh yes, the cloud cover is the way to go for sure. Why am I saying for sure all of a sudden? I don't even know. Okay, so there we go. So there's our card front in basically Strawberry Slush and basically Secret Sea and Cloud Cover. And now we're going to make our inside with that piece of cardstock that I just cut. Make sure that's the right one. Yep, it is. Okay, so all I'm going to do on here, and I'm going to stamp my flowers down at the bottom. And why don't I go ahead and do my envelope flap, or the front of my envelope at the same time. Okay, and then we can put this, very dangerous. Oh, I'll bet it was beautiful there today, even if it was cold. Yeah. We have a big full moon, and it must have, everything's cleared up so we can really see it quite nicely. All right, and then we'll just color these flowers with that light cloud cover. I do love cloud cover. I'm very excited to get my hands on hydrangea hues, or hue. That's apparently going to be a new in color, and it's a blue. It's more blue than purple. There was much conjecture about whether it was blue or purple, and it's quite a bit more blue than purple. But it's going to be quite pretty. Very, very pretty. All right. Now, I didn't color the leaves on my card, and I kind of think that's kind of fun. But if you wanted to, you sure could. Just pick a nice complementary green to go with whichever color card you've decided to make, either the pink or the blue, or, you know, whatever other DSP you have chosen will be more than fine. Okay, and so now, do the new in colors come out in April? Yeah, with the new, they come out with the new annual catalog. Yep. So that'll be the 26 to 28 in colors. You don't like hydrangeas? I love hydrangeas. They're one of my favorite flowers. I have blue ones and white ones in my garden. And you know what? I didn't put an embellishment on my other card, but I want one down here. I'm putting one right there. I want it, so I'm putting it. Okay, so there's our card, and then we'll put some of the DSP on the flap, and I just randomly picked one. Kind of wishing I had cut the flowery one because I really like it, but I also really like this, so this will be just fine. All right, and then we'll do, I don't think this card qualifies as a fussy cutting card, so I think this is a no fussy cutting required card personally. All right, there we go. I don't think trimming that excess DSP was a thing, and this sure as heck isn't a thing. All right, there you go. Same card, two different looks entirely. One in pink and one in pretty blues. So you pick, or make it with an entirely different DSP and stamp set, and just enjoy this. Just enjoy this kind of fun thing to do with your DSP strips, okay? All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. If you're in a cold and snowy place, stay warm, stay safe. And I'll see you on Saturday for, I don't even know what, but I hope it'll be something you like. Thanks so much, everybody. Wait, this is Saturday. I'll see you on Thursday for something. Again, I have no idea what it'll be. Gosh, I don't even know if it's Christmas or Tuesday. All right, we'll see you guys.